Darrell Brooks wouldn't like this one bit. He would be one angry person. Wait a minute, I'm not a person. I'm a human being. You're right, Darrell. What's going on, everyone? You're watching Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube, sightsoundsflavors.com. If at any point in time you like this video, smash that like button. Please subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you won't miss a single video, and leave a comment down below. So I am here to tell you, folks, not to forget Sight Sounds Flavors on YouTube live Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can watch it on replay, sure, but why would you want to when you can watch it live? If you're a regular, your question goes to the top. But if you're not, you can do a super chat, help the channel out. Your question will go up to the top, but not higher than the regulars because they're the best. And if you're new to the channel, then it'd be a great opportunity to subscribe, throw your question in. Maybe I get to it, maybe I don't. But here's the deal. We're going to talk about Waukesha trial, Darrell, Dawn, Dr. Mary Edwards, Detroit activist, blogger, motivational speaker, and hostage crisis negotiator. But we're also going to talk about Alex Murdaugh. We're going to talk about the possible retrial. We're going to talk about, I don't know, the death of Steve Riley from LA Guns. We're going to talk about the death of Rosalind Carter. I mean, what an amazing woman she was. We can talk about my trips to Florida, Costa Rica, Chile, my planned trip to El Salvador. We can talk about exploring Kentucky.com, Louisville, Paducah, Bowling Green. Maybe we can talk about Maysville as well. That looks just like San Francisco Bay. But we can talk about that. We could talk about food. We could talk about why Coke Zero tastes so darn good. We can talk about suntan lotion. We can talk about New York City trading cards. I mean, we could talk about whatever you want. I mean, we could talk about hotels. We got, let's see what we got here. We got the Westin. We got Hilton Honors. You know, we got this parking ticket. I mean, we could talk about anything, but it's not Everything Else channel. That's a different channel, which I really I hope that you will subscribe to, because we're like 30 subscribers away from 1,000. You can subscribe. But no, we're going to talk about basically everything sights, sounds, and flavors, you know. So I hope to see you this is not just for today, that happens to be Tuesday, but you might be watching this on a Saturday or a Monday. Every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm waving at you with my finger. I'm pointing at you like Bernie Sanders. That's got huge power. But anyways, yeah. So every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sight Sounds Flavors. I know, Darrell, you're not a person. You're a human being. Grounds! But the thing is, we could talk about grounds. We can talk about Darrell axing people. He didn't catch any new charges, and he axed a lot of people. We can talk about, is this a rush to judgment? I see through it. I just want you to know, I see through it. We could talk about the defendant. We could talk about, you know, all that stuff. We could talk about A Caged Bird Sings and how Maya Angelou would respond to her poem being read by the mom of a guy who ran over people and killed 6 and wounded and maimed over 80 and wreaked havoc on a community, and how she would feel about her poem being read in open court like that. We can talk about that. We can talk about Erica, and she's got a new YouTube channel from what I understand, and I've not been able to check it out, but I'm going to be looking for it. Somebody told me about it and I forgot about it. Now that I'm doing the video, I'm going to look it up. We can talk about any trials you want me to talk about. A lot of people have been asking me about OJ lately. I don't know that I want to start doing OJ Simpson videos because I don't know enough. I don't remember enough. I'd have to start looking at that again. But there was a recent Netflix docu-series that came out. I think it actually had 2 or 3 seasons, actually. Very, very good. It came out about 4 years ago. And I know people are like, 4 years ago, that's an eternity ago. Well, not when you're talking about a case that is over 30 years old. So 4 years really is just a drop in the bucket. But very, very good series. And a lot of people have been wanting to talk more and more about it, especially, interestingly enough, the role between Robert Kardashian and OJ Simpson. Because you guys know that in the docu-series, Robert Kardashian picks up a bag that may or may not have had bloody clothing from the crime scene, may or may not have, it did belong to OJ, but may or may not have been in the crime scene, and removed it from the scene. I don't know if that's true or not, but it's in the docu-series. And you know the Kardashians, I mean, they would sue Netflix until they would be at the dollar store, you know what I mean? So maybe there's some truth to that. You know, people also talk about the chase in the Bronco. I mean, who didn't watch that on TV? Like, people saw the whole chase. I was at Monsignor Edward Pace High School. I think I was in the 9th grade, and it was on TV, and people just didn't want to turn it off because it's like the juice. The juice is like, we didn't know where he was going, Mexico or, Mexico. Where else would he go? I mean, Mexico. But we also thought maybe he was just like, I don't know, going to Blockbuster Video or something, or maybe, I don't know, maybe going to Kmart, maybe there was like a blue light special he wanted to get in on. I don't know. People didn't know where he was going. But the point is that we could talk about that. There's just so many things we can talk about. And I really honestly think that the Darrell Brooks trial is going to be like the OJ Simpson trial. Like, there is going to be documentaries. There's going to be people weighing in. And that's probably why, I mean, if you think about it, it's really crazy to wrap your head around. But if you think about it, I think Dr. Mary Edwards really, I mean, the only bad thing for her, she's 80, because I mean, unless she's going to kick it over 1,000 or 100, I mean, she might. My dad's 99. I could see him living another easily 2 or 3 years, maybe more. So maybe she does have a good, run to go. But, that's the only pitfall, is that she's that old, But I mean, she basically created the most effective infomercial. I mean, how many things did she promote? She promoted that she's a church member, a minister, a podcaster, a writer. I mean, a UN security inspector. I mean, what else did she say that she was? I mean, she said all. And she might as well have mentioned her, like her P.O. box and website. I mean, I think it's funny to a certain extent, but I think it's really sad. And the more that I think about it, it's almost a little outrageous that she was allowed to go on there. I mean, the judge, honestly, I mean, I don't know, like, what the protocol is in that. I'm not even going to lie. I have no idea. I don't think it would probably be appropriate for the judge to have interrupted her. But, to me, like, there should be only so much that goes into self-promotion. I mean, you're at a trial where 6 people died and, like 80 had been injured horribly. Community is distraught. You've got victims of witnesses in the courtroom. Like, we don't care about your resume. But I don't know if it would have been appropriate for the judge to have interrupted. Probably not. But Dr. Mary Edwards, I got to tip my hat to her and maybe give her a hand gesture, because the thing is, people are going to be watching this trial. It's going to be just like the OJ trial. It may be worse than the OJ trial because of how many people died and how many people were hurt as a result of it. And because the guy was actually found guilty, whereas OJ was not. But just because he was found guilty, this guy, it's disturbing to think about. But do you remember, obviously you guys remember Charles Manson. He would give the most insane interviews, but you still had Geraldo down there. You had like all the big names wanting to interview him. You had all the big rock stars paying him tribute. I'm not saying that's going to happen with Darrell Brooks Jr., but it stands to reason that if people are going to be talking about this trial for the next 10, 20, 30 years, he's going to get some kind of attention, and we're going to have to hear him. And Sight Sounds Flavors, Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live here at the Sight Sounds Flavors YouTube channel. I look forward to seeing you. We got a lot to talk about.